Right, yeah, let's make a start. So we haven't got many announcements today, but just got a few things I wanted to mention. First one is, we just want to remind everyone that quality control starts from the home. So yeah, if after you finish your printing, please check your prints, sand them down where you've got maybe rough edges or some errors. Obviously, if you've had some stringing, take the stringing off, and also definitely make sure you separate them if you're printing the stacked versions. It just makes the job easy for the guys at IGUS. There's not many staff there, so they have to sift through and check every single one of these. So it just makes it easier for them. Yeah, if anyone has got any fundraising ideas, they're all welcome. If you let us know in the Slack group, we'll look at putting them together. And yep, just let us know about that. Also, we'd like to say thank you to the East Midlands Railway for the donation of £500 to the cause. We'll be putting this towards the material that we'll be buying this week. So yeah, we'll keep you all informed about that. We've also just had our preliminary results from our CE testing from Satra, which all been positive, and we're now progressing to the full testing later this week. This will obviously take some time. Everyone needs to bear in mind, there's a huge backlog list at Satra and all the other testing locations for the full testing. But we've had positive news for the preliminary test, so we can move ahead with the designs for the visor sheets. They've given us the AOK for that one. Yeah, just again, the IGUS quality control document is in the Start Here channel in Slack. So if you need to find that, just go to the Start Here channel and you'll find the IGUS quality control document there. Also, yep, we've not had specific dates yet from SATA in regards to the full testing. So we'll let you all know about that as soon as we get them dates. And we're hoping they will be very soon. We'd also like to wish a happy birthday as well to Captain Tom. So happy birthday, Tom. And yeah, I'd like to also thank you to Ray. I don't know if you've seen on our social media channels, we've been posting about Ray's been helping along with the printing, and he's been doing a great job, and he's been sharing it and letting people know about it. So yeah, please take a look at that post on our Facebook page and give it a like, please.
He's 85 years old, and I think he can use Slack better than I can.
Yeah, maybe he could give us help with that. Yep, and we've just put a link for all the new volunteers who want to help us out with this. In regards to the admin stuff, we've put a link in the YouTube chat. So yeah, if you could please click on that if you want to help out with the volunteers. So yeah, I think we'll just start taking some questions from the YouTube channel and the Slack. Yeah, so just looking at some of these questions in the YouTube chat here. So from Let's Fly, got a question about in printing some time you've already used 4 rolls. And you're asking, can you get some more donated? Yeah, so if you go on the site on the website when you're donating them through the online platform, you should get some points allocated to yourself once your prints have been checked, and you can use them points to claim free spools of filament which will be delivered straight to yourself.
I like the idea of Battle of the Bands for fundraising. Nice. If you want to organise that, by all means do so.
Nikki, as far as I'm aware, no, we don't have any PR agents on board or paid. We wouldn't be using the funds to pay for PR. We'd like to rely on obviously our members in the community and all the admin team. We're working hard as well with the PR stuff ourselves. But if you've got any ideas and you've got any expertise yourself, just get in contact with an admin team. If you can give us a hand with that, that'd be absolutely brilliant.
I'm rather intrigued with Christian's idea. Going off Ewan's idea, a talent show video kind of thing. I do want to hear more on that, Christian. What on earth do you have in mind?
I think it'd be quite good if people, did we could vote for the best one, and you could post the videos on Facebook, and obviously use the hashtags from the National 3D Printing side so we can, judge the best ones, I suppose.
Nikki, that would be amazing if you could please do what you can about PR. We do all that we can all the time. It's constant with media marketing constantly. But there is a lot of competition out there for the same sort of news people helping with the PPE solution. But whatever you can do, Nikki, that would be great.
Just to mention, again, we mentioned it last night, but we have the new printer channels set up as well. So whichever type of printer you have, please join those channels and help each other out.
Nikki, we're still working on more drop-off points, and we'll let you know as soon as we've got some more updates on that.
Charlie, I'm just trying to wonder who on our admin team will impose as Simon Cowell.
Definitely sounds like a Mason job.
I was going to say that's definitely Mason. He's so Simon Cowell. I've seen the way he wears his pants.
Too much information.
Simon's asked a question on the Slack. I think someone might have answered him actually, but he dropped his box off at Buy Box on Saturday, and they're still showing it in transit. I think Adam did mention yesterday at the beginning that Igus had got a lot of boxes to go through sat there, because we did have a bit of a backlog to begin with before we opened up the Buy Box channels, and that's all coming at once.
Yesterday, Igus had 200 parcels are waiting for them to book them in. They don't have a huge set of staff working on this, so it does take them some time to get these booked in. Once the backlog's dealt with, it shouldn't be too much of a problem.
I don't know what you mean by that question. Let's fly. Regarding the Perusa style mask.
This is a one-part mask, so it's definitely a less complicated design than a Prusa style one.
Yeah, because the design that the design that we've put out there is, is based upon the 3D Vercus stand design. The alterations that we've made have been alterations done to improve its rigidity and make it a bit slightly more robust, but also to stick to the CE guidelines, specifically in BSEN 166.
Can I add to that as well? Because our version 7 design has it was designed from scratch at the Verkstand, obviously as the initial inspiration, but it's got its own geometry. It is completely designed from scratch to meet all the standards that we should have been meeting in the first place. But obviously those standards were not made available until the government published their PPE guidance, which came well after we'd all started printing. And it's not just us, it's across the whole country. So now that people are aware of what the guidance is, they've done new revised guidance as well with that. And obviously we keep tabs with the government as to what they're giving us next. So the current design should tick all the boxes, and certainly from the SATRA results so far, it's really good. So just watch this space. Let's see what happens when the full test results come out.
Just on one point that I think Andy posted in the Slack today about the pigmentations in the filament. It is something we took into account at the very start, and that's why we get you to put on the packing form the filament brand, because then we can get all the cost sheets and the data sheets for that brand if needed. So we are aware that different pigmentations bring different aspects, but when we look at the brand, we look at all that.
Yep.
That's fine. The simple answer for that is that there's so many different printers being used in the community. If we had pre-sliced files out there, then we'd have to have pre-sliced files for so many different things. Also, the downfall of downloading G-code is it is actually possible to put G-code in there that can cause damage to people's printers. So personally, I wouldn't be happy to download a straight-up G-code file from any website. I would rather take it and slice it. Also, the different nuances between the settings you can print yours with your filament and my filament on my printer would be completely different.
I think with regards to Andrew's concerns about some filaments having certain aspects in them that could be well, I think he's put that they could be irritants in his original Slack message. Andrew, I would suggest if you do come across anything, do forward it to us so we'd make sure it doesn't go through the net, and then we can alert others as well. Because the whole point, I suppose, of having a wonderful community like this is that we all share information, we all empower each other. So if you have got any information about anything you found that could be potentially hazardous, do let us know and share it.
Yeah, and also on top of that as well, that's exactly why we say we won't accept parts that got anything in the PLA, so like glow in the dark or carbon fibre or anything like that. That's why it's purely just coloured PLA.
Andrew, I can answer you about that one regarding PLA and PTG. Correct, PLA is twice stiffer or whatever, and that was taken into account with the design. But the design is supposed to be universal so that we can have different head sizes. And certainly in field tests, we've trialed it, and it is meant to be not overly tight, so that A, the PETG will have some give in it, and B, the PLA wouldn't be as flexible, but you've still got that flexibility to put a tourniquet, a medical tourniquet at the back, so that it can be adjusted to the correct head size.
Yeah, so you got to think that there's, you know, you got to meet a, there has to be a compromise with these features, with these things, you know, that with utilising two different materials that, you know, you're going to have to make compromises there, because yes, both of them do have slightly different mechanical properties, and you know we understand that, you know, them two materials that will be accepted, and therefore the design is designed specifically to sort of be the best of both worlds, meeting in the middle ground. What's the other problem you have with trying to get the design so it's comfortable, that fits all, that, you know, people's head shapes vary massively. So you can't necessarily get the perfect thing for everyone.
Let's Fly, I think that the simple answer to that question is we all hope in the nicest way possible to be as little time as possible, because obviously that would mean everything's gone back to normal. But I know, to say this on behalf of pretty much all the admins, that we're here for as long as we're needed to be here, but definitely not planning on being here forever. Obviously, as a community, yes, here going on, but as a project and an effort making these visors, definitely not. And Simon, no, the issue comes from the delay in booking them in. The reason it takes so long for them to book them all in is obviously they're quite controlling each individual part. So I'm not sure if it's already been said, so I kind of jumped in a little bit late. Every part is quality checked. I have seen orders with some parts taken off. In some cases, yes, there have been orders where entire donations have been rejected for various quality issues and whatever. So yeah, it's just the time it takes to do those quality control checks, and obviously book them in on the system as well. We try and make that process as quick as possible for them, but checking 120 parts takes time no matter how they're put in a box.
Tom, I mean, obviously we can't speak on behalf of 3D Crowd because we don't know what obviously they're utilising the funds for, etc. But yeah, as donations coming in, is there anything to fall back on? Yeah, I mean, this is why we're spending a lot of time in the background of all this, having these negotiations with people to ensure that we can have a consistent supply of materials, etc., so that we can run this project for as long as it needs to be run, basically.
So, robot, they aren't assembled; they're packaged. Probably the better way to put it. So in August, they're kept flat packed, and there was a period where a few of them were actually assembled, which obviously was a complete waste of time to assemble them. So what they're now doing is having a plastic wallet where they're putting in headband, clear plastic sheet, and necessary documentation. And then they're getting put into boxes of 50, so it's not only being able to fit 10 in a box and then shipping a lot of air around, because that would be a huge waste.
Charlie, just to answer your question about Argus retaining the rejected headbands. Yes, we are looking into basically taking these rejected headbands, taking them to a company for them to recycle and turn it back into filament, which we can give back to you guys. So we are looking into that to make sure that the filament is not wasted as much as possible.
And also that for anybody who does have their parts rejected, that they do literally just get put into a box, one for PLA, one for PETG, so it's easier for that recycling effort once we've got that going. But there isn't a change. I have also seen a few people saying, can they get the rejected parts back? The simple answer is unfortunately no, because if they were to start putting them to one side and start shipping them back, that's just more time being spent on parts that we're not quality controlling them to make sure that they're at a stupidly high standard. We're quality controlling them to make sure that they meet a good standard that would be safe for anybody to use. So all those parts wouldn't. No recipient would want to receive them if they've got the issues, obviously, that they're getting rejected for. Also now as well, some orders may find that they're getting a picture attached to the email that they get sent back, showing them exactly why their parts have been rejected.
Yeah, so on what's being implemented already, yeah, like we said, they are putting them aside. They're not chucking them in the bin now. They're putting them to a side, separating them by material, so that they're ready for when we get this recycling solution implemented. Regards to whether it's filamentive or not, we can't obviously specifically mention who we're speaking to at the moment, because we don't like to give you advice, to give you news that could potentially change. So yes, we're speaking to a few various people who have got recycling capabilities.
Nikki, you're just so impressive. That's exactly what I would love you to do. Making sure you're actually doing SATRAS tests. They will feel the inside of the band to make sure there's no sharp edges and things like that. And if there are, you're sanding them down. That's just brilliant. Thank you.
Nikki, I mean, if you've got some time, could you possibly, record your procedure that you're doing to check the quality of these, and would love to share that with your permission, obviously, to share that out in the community, to show an example, how to check your quality of your prints, which I think would be a lot easier for people to see, in a video format, to see how to do that if they're wondering.
Andrew, so we need to get the pictures into Slack. When you send your approval picture in, we're approving prints to be printed at that quality. And so the quality you showed us the picture of is what we're approving. Obviously, the only part of that we can't see from a picture is obviously how well the arms flex, or if they're brittle and they just snap off, obviously. So anything that doesn't meet that, then meet the same standard we've approved you for, then yeah, that you're not printing an approved quality print. So obviously that's where parts a lot of people are not meeting the standard, obviously, that they've set themselves as such.
And Neil, just answer your question in regards to FEA analysis. Yes, we have looked into FEA analysis, but the problem that you have with FEA analysis, especially with the component being 3D printed, is it's very, very difficult to actually do that type of analysis on that type of material, because typically when you do FEA analysis, it's taking the assumption that the material's consistent throughout, whereas where manufacturing these with a layer by layer process, it's very hard to simulate that type of material. But I mean, by all means, if you want to get in contact with us, and if you've got the ability or the skill sets to ensure that you're doing FEA analysis to 3D printing standards, then yeah, by all means, we'll be really happy to see that.
With regards of people asking a lot of feedback from IGUS, what you have to remember is these people are donating their time. Adam I don't remember the girl's name, unfortunately, I'm sorry, but she worked a full shift and then stayed late to help clear the backlog of her own time as well. So she's donating her time to try and help. There's only so much we can ask back from them with regards to, like, well, can you send us photos? What information we can get back from them is limited in a way.
Yeah, I mean, IGUS is donating a lot of resources and time to this project, and we need to respect that. And all the companies that are partnering up with ourselves to offer their services for free, we need to respect their donation, and respect that they're giving their time and resources up for us.
Yeah, Andrew, again with the quality control point. Yes, in theory, we could put it in place that you send a picture of each individual batch in to get approved, which would be a complete time drain on us, which would be unrealistic. Hence why we do the approvals the way we do, so that you get approved to print of a quality. If we're not sure about the quality, that's why we've got the system we've got now, where we can reject it, and well, it's a reject or approve kind of system, but we can reject it back to you and say, like, can we get a picture of the underside or anything like that? That actually what we can already do. But if we add in extra checks and stuff like that, it just puts more workload on already overworked admins, basically. Yeah, exactly. Like if you're not sure if your part's going to be accepted or not, open up the quality control document, see if you've got any of the faults in there. If you have, then the answer's pretty much written there that it won't be accepted because it doesn't meet those requirements. And again, yeah, with the stacks in particular, popular for volume production, yes. If you struggle to print stacks, I can't stress this enough, please just print singles. You're still helping. It's far more efficient and far better for you to print, say, 10 in a day than it is to print 100, where 100 get thrown in the bin, but your 10 get accepted kind of deal. It's also as well that way you get your points to be able to claim the filament back. If parts aren't up to quality, then we can't donate them. We're not able to actually use them. Then it, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to give those parts points, as I'm sure most people can understand. Tanya, yeah, I'm sure IGOS could easily expand with more volunteers, but they've got a limited amount, obviously, they can put on this. They are a company, they've obviously still got to be able to pay these staff at the same time. So yeah, it would be amazing if they could give us their entire workforce to clear the backlog for a day or for a couple of hours. That'd be great, but it's not realistic and would be completely insane for us to even attempt to try and get anything like that set up. Yeah, Andrew, if you're not able to get a good quality bottom of the stacked prints, then as I say, print singles. I've got mine printing singles. I just keep pressing print because I'm sat here all day. You got people like Alfie who's obviously got auto eject set up, so obviously you can just constantly print singles and keep kicking them back out. We are still looking at different ways, and as we said before, if people have got stack designs that they think work better, because they've made some minor changes to how they stack and whatever else, send them into an admin. We can have a look at them and see if we agree with you. Then obviously we can look at pushing that out to the whole community. Again, with the rejected parts, realistically, no. It's more workload for them to put them all to one side, and also be able to go back to them and say, right, now we've got a question about this individual part, so we've then got to go get one of the guys that are booking these parts in or packaging them up or whatever other jobs they may be doing with this, to then go and find that part for that individual for them to then say, well, this is where the issue is. That's why we've got the system in place where when they reject any parts, if it's just one or two, then yeah, obviously it's easy for one or two to slip through with a batch. But they're putting in comments, putting in pictures if they can, if it's just feasible for them to do that. So I think I missed the last part of that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, getting volunteers into IGOS, we can't expect IGOS to allow, individuals, people who don't work for the company to go into that. At the end of the day, it is a business. It is a company that can't let just any old individual come in, whether volunteering or not. You know that they have procedures and such to stick to, like social distancing. They can only have a certain amount of staff there at certain periods, certain periods at a time. So yeah, it's all Argus's decision about, we just got to appreciate, that they're offering these services for free. Yeah, Andrew, we'll get some pictures to you.
Yeah,
I mean, sorry, go on.
So with that, since obviously past couple of days, I have spoken to Argus and asked them to obviously do the pictures so that we can see the reasons people's parts have failed. That will then get attached to your email and sent out to you, so you'll be able to see exactly why they've rejected those parts. We have also got some pictures of parts of non-specific orders, just a selection of different problems that we are putting into a better quality control document for you guys to be able to see, right, these are the parts you've sent in, here's the issues kind of deal.
Just conscious about the time, so we're gonna have to wrap it up there. Again, we'll be back on tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Hopefully we'll have some more updates for you tomorrow. Thank you all again for taking your time out and helping us along in this project and getting these prints going and keeping everything moving here. We aim to respond to everyone's questions as soon as we can. I'd just like to also iterate again, please, like and share the social media channels, and to get the word out there as much as possible. The more donations we get, the more material we can get with, the longer we can keep this going. But yeah, I'll end the tonight's talk there, and yes, we'll be back tomorrow. So thank you.